there are alien bodies that have been recovered. There's alien ships that have been recovered. There's no question. How come no one's talking about this?
One of the biggest things is that they hide in the ocean. I was a saturation diver for about 17 years.
So after 18 years, you said, I'm just going to buy a hockey team?
I just got to the point where I'm done having somebody dictate my value. I'm going to create that value.
Dude, I'd be at the hockey game every freaking night if it was like a freaking Coliseum war. Dude, this is going to be good tonight. What's the craziest you've seen down there 800 feet or 1,000 feet? What it is, Brad Lee back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs today in the studio. Folks, I got a real treat for you. Jed Snyder in the house. What's up, Jed?
Good. How's it going, Brad?
Dude, if I was any better, I'd be you.
Fucking it sounds great.
Folks, Jed Snyder, a real-life entrepreneur, owner of the Helena Bighorns Steed Arena out there in Helena, Montana, hockey league or a little hockey team in the NA3.
Yep.
How'd you get, do you used to play hockey? How'd you end up owning a hockey team?
So in 94, 95, Helena got a team called the Helena Ice Pirates. And I actually played for the organization. And at the time, my business partner with the hockey team was the coach. And anyway, life happens and move away and whatnot. And then in 2021, I was getting ready to move home to my parents were getting a little old. And so it was just time to move home. And lo and behold, the team was for sale. So we took it over and just started running with it.
How does the team make money?
So we do a lot of advertising. We're really, really big in the community. So we have a really big support from the community. So we do sell advertising, ticket sales, merchandise, basically all revenue streams that you would think of from a sports team. We are unique in the aspect that the NA3 is pay to play. So we do get some revenue from the players as well. But we do try and keep our costs extremely down on that side because we really believe in selling a premier product.
And these guys go from that league to NHL, or what's the levels?
So it basically go from hockey structured, it's weird. Hockey structured kind of like baseball in the aspect of sometimes guys just can't make the jump from high school to college or whatever, right? So they have baseball's got JUCO where you can go and play junior college ball, and that helps facilitate and mature the person. And that's kind of where we are. And we send them to, sometimes D3, ACHA, collegiate stuff. Not a lot of guys go to the pros out of our league because we are tier 3, but we have sent one guy that actually made it to a pro camp and that sort of thing. So it's just
nice.
A stepping stone for them to develop and move on.
Yeah. So does it feel weird saying you own the team?
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like disbelief in a sense that you actually own a hockey team and can make it work, I guess, with any sort of like sports franchise. It's actually a lot of fun. It really, really is. And it's like anytime you can give back to these kids and make sure that they get the best possible opportunity, that's the big reward out of it for sure.
Why is it you think hockey's never really caught on until now? Like nowadays, for some reason, because now I'm into hockey.
Yeah.
I was, my wife's brother played hockey, travel hockey. Mm-hmm. They ran around everywhere just so the kid can play hockey. Mm-hmm. And so my current wife is from a hockey family.
Yeah.
But she lived in Bothell, Washington. And I never remembered hockey growing up. I never really was into hockey. But now it seems like everyone's into hockey.
Yeah, I think it's taken off in the aspect of you've had like teams like for instance, like the Vegas Knights, you know what I mean? Like coming into these markets that are really big markets and just these like hockey environments, like markets that weren't ever anything involved with it before that were really popular have now got teams and have got youth organizations and it's just been building and building and building.
Are you like just a major hockey fan? Do you watch Stanley Cup and you just?
I do watch the Cup. I do like that. Like, I mean, Florida's run last year was legit. You know what I mean?
Did you watch when the Vegas Knights came the first season?
Yeah. I watched bits and pieces.
Damn near won it all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And almost did.
Yeah.
And then eventually did.
Yes. Correct.
Unheard of.
Yes.
They were the throwaways of the league. Like they could protect so many players and then you got to give up some.
Yeah.
So literally all the teams gave up people and those got together and damn near whipped everybody's ass.
Yeah.
before this, you said you were a deep sea something or another. What's it called?
Yeah, I was a saturation diver for about 17 years.
Yeah, like that's crazy shit. How was that?
Yeah, I guess it's one of those things that when you do it and you're in it, you don't really think much of it because it's life. And then once you get out, you're like, holy fuck. Like, like I just got through all that, you know. It was fun. Like it was awesome. Got to see the world and do some cool shit. And
so who would be hiring you guys? Like big offshore drilling, or like who hired saturation divers? What were you down there welding?
Well, it would be like, so think of it as like an underwater pipe fitter, right? So you'd get in a situation to where like each jacket or platform comes up has 4 or 5 risers that go down, and then they lay subsea pipelines and you go tie them in. And you just big nuts and bolts, big pipe, just putting it together. So when, say, instance, like ExxonMobil would install a platform, they'd hire a third-party contractor to lay their pipelines, and then they'd hire a third-party contractor to come in and do all the tie-in work. If the pipe lay company didn't have a diving portion themselves, you know what I mean?
So when you see those offshore drilling rigs sticking out of the water, those things are going 800 feet down.
Oh, some of the spars are thousands of feet. Just like they've got literally just strings of pipe with like articulating knuckles so they can move around. And yeah, it's crazy. Once you get under there, the engineering feat's unbelievable.
Move around because of the waves or
the currents. Yeah.
What's the craziest shit you've seen down there 800 feet or 1,000 feet? So do you sleep down there?
Yeah, you sleep in the chambers. So it's like a habitat, right? So there'll be guys that are, so imagine like 9 dudes like line up like 2 Econoline vans, right? For instance, for a reference point, and put like 9 motherfuckers in there. And that's your home for a month to 2 months to 3 months. That's where you go to the bathroom.
What if you got in a fight?
You get in a fight.
Would it happen?
Yeah, it has.
Fist fight?
Yeah, dudes have just, I mean, you get that close to people, especially alpha males, like there's arguments that happen.
When you're shoulder to shoulder?
Nut to butt. Just swinging.
How everybody has to fight if somebody fights.
Yeah. It's one of those things. Like there's stories going around, dudes getting in knife fights over card games and shit. And like, yeah, it was a thing for a while.
But you'd live down there for 2 or 3 months with 9 dudes, nuts to butts.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
You get paid, I guess. I mean, I don't know. The adventure, Brad. It was for the adventure.
And you'd make a couple $100,000 in like 6 months and then take 6 months off?
Yeah, you do like a rotation, 6 weeks on, 3 or 4 weeks off.
But that was, I mean, you got to be obviously trained for that. Where do you get training to be a freaking saturation diver?
So when I started, there was a pretty grueling apprenticeship program. So you basically went to dive school. Like I went to dive school at the College of Oceaneering in Port of Long Beach. But once you get out of that, back when I started, there was like an apprenticeship. So you'd become like a tender, be like a electrician apprentice, same shit, right? And then you've got like a series of quals you have to do over a period of years. And then you finally break out and then you become a diver, and then your actual learning starts.
Did you ever see or encounter big ass sharks and shit?
Yeah, they're there.
What do you do?
Nothing. Just keep going.
They don't bother you?
No, not really. I mean,
I wonder why.
I don't know. I mean, there's stories of guys that have been jerked around by them and that sort of thing. Like it's, you know, the funny thing is you talk about weird, crazy shit. Like there's, you know, like the groupers are the ones that are actually the most interesting. Big, large grouper fish, like because they have no known predators and they're like big fucking lap dogs. So like you wear a hot water suit that pumps like hot water through. It's like a radiator system because you're breathing helium and oxygen. So it actually takes the heat out of your body faster. And obviously you're that fucking deep. It's going to be that cold too, right? So then you wear these suits, but it like emits like this, you can see the heat coming off it. Well, grouper absolutely love it. They come over and rub on you and shit. You can scratch them between their eyes and pet them and stuff. And then once they get comfortable with you, they just run you over. Like it's like a Great Dane jumping on your lap. You know what I mean?
No shit.
Yeah.
Why do you think it's so cold towards the bottom of the ocean when supposedly the center of the earth is molten lava?
I don't know. But that's like, isn't that fucking like 7,000 miles deep or some shit? I don't know. Mantle, I don't know. It's cold as fuck. I will say that.
Yeah, well, sure. Hell yeah. Is it dark?
It is because there's no light, but actually when you shine a light, it's really, really clear.
Is it clean or murky?
It's unless you touch bottom, it's clear.
Clear as a bell.
Yep.
And then if you come up, that's one of the things where you're so far down. If you come up too fast, you'll what do you call that?
It's explosive decompression or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, because you see some people
rapid decompression.
Yeah, well, you see some divers that when they're coming up, if they go too fast, they like pass out.
They get the bends.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you ever had that?
Yeah, about 9 times.
What happens?
I just had localized pain. So there's type 1 and type 2, I believe. Type 1 is like localized pain. Like, so if you've got like sports injuries, right? Like where there's scar tissue, that's usually where bubbles will lodge if you for whatever reason. And then type 2 is a CNS hit where it gets in your central nervous system and that'll kill you.
So it straight up will kill you if you go up too fast.
100%.
Is that why they put a pod down there just to keep you down there?
Yeah. Well, that the bell as it's called, is at the same pressure that you're living at. Right. So that's like your oasis because you can't go to the surface. Like your umbilical that's tying you to the bell is only like 150 feet long. So even if you tried, you wouldn't make it. And then you get back. So the bell is actually like it's dry. And that's where you go back to swap out with your bell partners and stuff. And then that comes back up and launches onto the habitat.
Have you ever seen anyone die?
Yeah.
You've seen it or they were in your bell?
We were part of it. I was actually in the system when they brought the gentleman back to the system.
What was the reason for his death?
He took a Broco torch. It's like what we used, a subsea cutting utensil. It's like it's a fucking big rod that has like rods through it. They pump pure O2 through it and light it and ignite a rod in there and you can burn 6-inch steel with it. And he was cutting into something that had a big, huge gas pocket because we've been cutting on this area for a while. So all the gas, because it offsets hydrogen gas and it would all, I believe it's hydrogen, and it all would sit in this big pocket, this void, and he lit into it and it fucking boom, blew him up. So
that's dangerous job.
Yeah.
So after 18 years, you said, fuck it, I'm just going to buy a hockey team?
No. So I used to coach back in the day before I got into all that. And then I ended up moving to Colorado with my buddies and my friend Mike and I, when I retired, we started coaching youth hockey together. He'd been coaching. He was the guy that coached me in '94 in Helena. And we started coaching and got involved in the youth stuff.
When did you get the tats?
Well, it's been an accumulation of long time. I think it's
like while you were diving, what are they?
Knuckles are deep 6. That's pirate term for being buried at sea.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I was figuring it's got to be nautical or some sort of sea. Do you got like fucking octopus or something?
Yeah, I got a big dragon on my left arm and then Poseidon and squid and all that stuff.
Is there like the guys down there got to be fucking tight knit group of people?
Yeah, I mean it's life support industry, right? So even if you don't get along with somebody, they still got your back. And guys that weed out pretty fast and aren't bought into that stuff, right? Like, that was one of the reasons that I kind of left the business was that oil was kind of tanking back in, I believe it was mid 16, early 17. I can't remember, but anyway, oil was kind of tanking. So in the international market, they were really flooding the market with inexperienced divers, and they would take an experienced one and put them with 2 guys from, usually other countries or whatever, with kind of like, you don't want to be a dick, but like a country that doesn't value life as much as another, and they're not very talented at what they do. So then you're in there doing all the work, coming back. Guys are fucking sleeping in the bell, not hooking shit up right. Like, so there's not that life support entity anymore.
Because it's that dangerous. Like everyone has to do shit correctly or you die.
Pretty much.
And that didn't bother you?
If you get the right guys, it can be a lot of fun, but you get in there with guys that are sketchy and that really don't give a fuck, can't pay attention and that sort of thing. Then yeah, man, that's kind of.
Would you go down through the bottom of the bell to get out into the water? Mm-hmm. So you created some sort of like pressure pocket where you pop up and it's dry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like there's the water. Anytime you want to go in, you go in right there.
Yep.
And you never had any freaking earthquakes, freaking crazy beast things swim by. No fucking mermaid stories.
No, Nessie never showed up. And then, like I said, the hot fucking mermaid someday would have been kind of cool to see, but I never saw her.
So you saw nothing crazy.
Not outside of normal animals and stuff. And, like.
They say there's aliens in the ocean.
Oh, I watched Ancient Aliens. I think that was on Declassified.
Have you seen The Age of Disclosure yet?
I have not.
Dude, go on. I think it's Prime TV, maybe Amazon Prime. There's a show called Age of Disclosure. And basically it's Rubio and like government officials, like regular old everyday politician, government officials telling you point blank, oh, they fucking exist. They're real.
Yeah.
You haven't seen it?
No, I have not.
Yeah. And I'm like, how come no one's talking about this? They're not saying, well, we've seen some UAPs where they're unexplained. No, they're saying straight up, there are fucking alien bodies that have been recovered. There's alien ships that have been recovered. We've reverse engineered. We do reverse engineer. We talk to them. We have conversations with them. We trade technology with them. There's a galactic federation.
Well, okay. I will fucking check that out.
And it's straight up. No, there's no question. Yeah. Like, these are people that are currently in politics, like Marco Rubio, dude.
Yeah.
He's saying straight up, oh yeah, there's aliens. There's extraterrestrials. There's different types. We've talked to them. We have crashed ships. Like, fucking aliens are real. And I'm like, how come no one's talking about this?
Yeah. One of the biggest things is that they hide in the ocean.
That's what they're saying.
Like one of the biggest things, because what do we know? We know more about space than we fucking do the ocean. Like, they don't even know what's in the Marianas Trench or whatever. Yeah. They could just be hanging out down there.
Well, supposedly that's where they are.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And it's like, dude, that's where they come out of, is that, that you want to be hidden, go to the ocean. We don't go in there
at all.
So you did all that for 17 years. You look like a freaking, burly biker type. I'm just not picturing, oh shit, now he's going to go coach by a hockey team.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
And now you got, what's it? Nitro Alpha Gym.
Yep. Nitro Alpha Development. Yeah.
And that's about just training the players.
Yep. That was the idea of starting that out, was to create a space that we could actually train our players the way that we wanted to train them, the right way.
And then you bought the rink.
Yep.
Now,
rink came first.
Can you own a team if you don't own the rink?
You can.
You just rent the rink?
That's what they do. Yeah. At the end, it's challenging when you don't, to really be successful in junior hockey, because the margins are a little different. It really helps to have complete control of the rink, because at that point it's not about each person splitting up advertising dollars. It's like, hey, what's best for the team? What's best for the rink? Let's move in that direction. Right. So we're very fortunate in that aspect.
Do you have open skate night on Wednesdays, or do people go in there and skate when the team's not playing?
Yeah. So we have youth hockey that runs out of there. I think we just finished in Thanksgiving. We had our turkey trot skate, and I think, I don't know when, but we've got the ugly sweater skate coming up for the community and that sort of thing.
And this is Helena, Montana.
Yeah, Helena, Montana.
Is there surrounding towns?
Yeah, so we're right in the center. So if you look at a map of Montana, Helena's the capital. It's like right, basically 90 miles from Bozeman, where Big Sky is, obviously, and then 90 miles from Great Falls, 100 miles from Missoula, and 60 miles from Butte. So all the major epicenters outside of like Billings and Missoula are within about 100 miles.
What's the population of Helena?
The city, I believe, is like 32 or 35,000.
So not very big.
County's about 72 to 85, I believe.
Where is Whitefish?
Whitefish would be up towards Idaho, the Panhandle, Kalispell area. So that would be west, kind of northwest of Helena.
Like hours and hours?
About 4.
Yeah, because I've been wanting to check out Montana, dude.
Yeah, should.
Well, I mean, dude, it's beautiful country. The only problem is it gets snowy. But like, if shit hits the fan, anarchy starts to crush.
Go get you some, bro.
I need to figure out a place somewhere like Montana where you got a little cabin up there, high up, perched with the right, fortress barricade gates.
Well, the best part is everybody else will fucking have one too up there. So
why?
Everyone just builds, like, they've got their houses up there, and you get in the Yak Valley in Montana. It's people just want to be left alone.
But you live there.
I do. I live in Helena.
Full time.
Yeah. Yep.
Is it snowing right now?
When I left, it was not. There wasn't snow on the ground, actually.
It's cold, though.
It was. It warmed up. It was like 40 degrees when I flew out to head down. It's weird.
Warm.
Like, the seasons are changing. Yeah.
You believe in global warming?
I believe in it ratcheting to different seasons. I think like we had snow last year until May, right? I think we're getting the seasons, just everything's shifting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
all right. So Nitro Alpha Development, I was looking at your website and it like you have programs people can download and athletes that want to get stronger, faster. How are you developing these programs for your players? Like what's your background to have that knowledge?
well, some of the actual programs for the players, I actually outsourced to a coach of mine, a buddy. He did all the programming for our players and built the templates, and we just started building the other protocols off of that.
Are you guys like a winning team or a losing team?
Helena Bighorns are a winning organization. We've lost, in the last 5 years, we're something like 147 and 25 or something. Won nationals in 24.
Damn.
We're pretty good.
Is it a team everybody wants to get on?
But at our level, yes.
So if I'm a player in another state, would I want to, hey, Mom, I want to go out to Helena and play for the Bighorns?
Yep. 100%.
Any hockey players listening, how do they apply and get in?
They can just email, go to the website, email sales@helenabighorns.com. Reach out to Coach Hansen, D Hansen.
So is it like if I'm a parent listening and my kid loves hockey, but he's just a little junior guy right now. What age? Who is it? I know it's a pay to play, but you don't take everybody that's willing to pay.
Nope.
They got to try out.
They got to make
that.
it.
So how do you pick them? Is there auditions or
so we have an
tryouts?
exposure camp that we run in June. Anybody that's 16 to 20 that wants to come out, they just will be launching it on our website after the first of the year. They can go click on exposure camp, sign up, come to Helena.
Have you ever had any walk-ons that turned out to be just amazing?
There's been a few. The anomalies that show up and you're just like, where the fuck did this guy come from? Yeah, there's been a few.
When you played, were you like, what position?
I was a wing.
Any good?
That was all right. It was all right. I ended up I played college at ASU club hockey for a little, and then I had a cup of coffee in the East Coast League and then the Western Pro League a little bit, not much.
You had a what? Cup of coffee?
Cup of coffee. I was just there for a wee bit.
Oh.
So.
That's code in hockey talk?
That's code for fucking, I made it through tryouts and got released. Yeah, pretty much. And then the pro stuff. The pro stuff was a lot of fun. It was just funny because, back in the 90s, it was a good time. And guess if I could have really worked at it, I probably could have done a lot more with it. I just got involved with strippers and shit. And
you got all your teeth though.
Yeah, I do actually.
So I've never seen a hockey player without like a
bridge,
pop his teeth out.
Yeah, no, I don't have that. I was very, very fortunate.
Did you wear a mask or
no? You
just got lucky.
Just got lucky
because most hockey players got false teeth.
They got a level of it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now these programs that you're kind of developing for just in general athletes, because I looked at, dude, you got like motorsports and freaking pickleball and like why the reaching out to all the other industries? You plan on expanding into other things or what?
Honestly, I started building it just because I wanted to provide a service to everybody. Like, why just stop with football? You know what I mean? Why just stop with hockey? Cricket. And I guess a lot of it comes from my travels and stuff. Like, I remember living in Singapore watching test matches of cricket for like 4 days, and it's like, it's kind of just put it out there for everybody. I mean, whatever your sport is, let's try and help you be better at it. Right.
So are these just like fundamental, like stretching and speed and agility, and it applies to any sport?
No, it's actually like it actually has strength protocols and that sort of thing for that sport specifically. You know what I mean?
So if I'm into baseball, I select baseball and you'll make me a better baseball player.
But you put the work in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bigger, faster, stronger. What
gives you the motivation and passion to do that?
I think because at the end of the day, what it came down to, Brad, was in my years of playing hockey and all my friends, it was all the same story. It was sports don't fail people fail people. And when Mike and I bought the hockey team, we went into it with players first. Like, it's about the players. It's not about us making money. At the end of the day, if we're able to make some money on it, cool. But it's literally about the kids, man. Give them the best experience possible. And I think I just carried it over into this. Like, let's give everybody a chance to really succeed. Now, you still have to show up with the effort. You still have to show up and put the work in. You still have to show up and put the dedication in and the sacrifice. But give them the tools, and let that choice be them as opposed to a system not providing the right shit for them.
So if I'm listening to this and I've been wanting to get in shape, I can just freaking download these programs, and it's not necessarily just to get in shape and fitness. It's for sports and athletes. But at the end of the day, I would imagine if I went there and downloaded it and started applying it, even though I'm not going to play hockey, I could fucking get stronger, faster, more agile.
Yep.
So it's like a fitness deal.
Yeah. And then there's actually, even if you're not into sport, or a specific sport, there's just general fitness levels 1, 2, and 3, and going and getting that as well. Like if you just want to, you don't know shit about it, you got some shit at your house that you want to use, you can get the Get Fit Part 1, and that'll just get you off the couch and moving. And then it comes with a generic illustration of some movements and that sort of thing. And then say you're involved in it, and then you want to get the Part 2 and escalate it a little more to more of an intermediate status, you can do that as well.
What are you teaching me? Like drills and shit to run?
Yeah, there's drills with minor explanations on them for the most part. I mean, obviously, as it gets more advanced in it, you have a grasp of kind of what it's already going on. But yeah, I mean, it's just the movements, power movements, strength movements based on what the sport is. A lot of twists, rotations.
Do you do it?
Mm-hmm.
You're in shape.
Yeah.
Have you always been in shape?
A little bit. Yeah.
Just always into working out?
Yeah. I was actually, I compete in CrossFit, so I really enjoy that. And then just, I started training players years ago and that sort of thing when I stopped diving and was coaching in that, and really worked with the youth programs in Colorado Springs, because my business partner runs Colorado Springs Amateur Hockey Association. So I was involved with that. And then, yeah, it's just always been a thing for me.
And what's your goal with Nitro Alpha? Like to franchise it or take it like global? What?
I would like to take the protocols and that sort of thing global. I say, like initially I started out just as a place to train my players. And I think that there's a real niche to provide a service to make, give people the ability to have the knowledge to be better. And then obviously if they want to run with it and do more with it, that's awesome. But if I was able to provide something to where it just got them moving, that's pretty exciting stuff. If that changes their life.
Why Nitro Alpha?
I get so much shit for the fucking name, dude. Like, it's so funny. I don't know. I like it just because it's just like explosive dominance kind of thing. Like, it's just a powerful name. I don't know, but
you just made it up.
I just fucking made it up, straight up.
And it's a brick and mortar facility.
Mm-hmm.
So do you open it up to just like a membership in Helena?
No. I did briefly. So I partnered with Seven Devils CrossFit out of Helena as well initially. And I offered some memberships to at a discount for their people, but not really.
What's in there? Weights and shit?
Mm-hmm. But it's got turf.
But it's only for your players?
We train the youth program too. So we train the high school varsity team as well, the JV team, the 14U youth group, we want to keep it kind of specific for it because we really want to focus on athletes. As opposed to like if you want to be a fitness model, hey, good on you. But I don't have mirrors. You know what I mean?
But I can still go to your website, nitroalphadevelopment.com, and download all the shit they're doing in that facility.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the shit you're doing in the facility to condition your players and improve your players that anyone can go download and freaking get.
Well, the actual in-person stuff is a little different than the PDF stuff, only because of the fact we've partnered with, I've got a Summit PT that's jumped on board with me. So we offer packages as far as like the training package, preventive maintenance package, and then an on-ice skill sessions with J2 development. And so we try to make sure that the people that actually train in there are with our packages, and working to that is more specific. But yeah, absolutely. If somebody wanted to download our PDFs and come on into the gym and get in there and get after it, they could definitely do that. And we also have personal training out of there as well. You can get in contact with our trainers and work with them too.
So did you have a big transition from employee seemingly saving your money? Because if you did that for 17 years, you're not that old. I mean, that's pretty much all you did for a while.
Yeah.
Would you just save every fucking penny because you're always working?
Tried. Yeah.
Where'd you get the money to buy a rink and freaking buy a team? You must have had some savings.
Yeah, I just got lucky, I guess, with a lot of that. It wasn't too dumb. It's been, like I said, so I got into options trading as well. So I've got a few little avenues that I do as well. And then just years of grinding and just getting after it. I mean,
but you had to save a chunk of change to begin with.
Business owners, listen up. If your business needs more money, and it will, banks aren't built to move quick. They make you fill out a ton of paperwork, wait for a decision, and by that time, the opportunity is passed. So if you want bank rates without bank delays, you need to check out Cardiff. Cardiff's been helping businesses get same-day funding for over 20 years. We're talking up to $500,000 approved and funded quicker and easier than big banks. You can apply online in under 2 minutes and get funded as fast as the same day. So whether you need quick money to bridge a gap or do more marketing, get some equipment, or hire more people, I'm telling you, apply today at cardiff.co/Brad. Stop letting slow money cost you opportunities that move fast. There's no impact on your personal credit. So apply now at cardiff.co/Brad. Subject to approval, terms and rates vary. Cardiff, borrow better.
Yeah.
Was it because, like, you know,
The diving.
Alaska fishermen, for example,
Yeah.
they can't spend the money they're making. If they're working and working and working and working, they come back with a huge chunk of change because they couldn't spend it. They're on a fucking ship.
Yeah.
Is it the same with diving?
100%.
So when you get back, like, fuck, I got a big ass chunk of money because I was being paid the whole time, but I didn't spend a dime. I lived in a fucking bell.
Yeah. And then I'm not shitting you, like you come back and then the wheels just fall off a fucking wagon.
You just go party.
Oh, just absolute ape shit.
Did you have a girl the whole time?
I did for a while.
What do they do when you're gone for 6 months?
You don't ask.
Do you come home and knock the stuffing out of it? Like,
You have to. You have to.
I don't imagine.
Yeah, no,
if I didn't see my wife for 6 months.
It's usually like, it usually would entail in most guys, you go on a vacation, get the fuck out of the house and just deplete yourself on every level. Right. Yeah. You have to, man. Like you come back and it's just fucking, it's just a shit show for about a week and just destroy. If she's got a job, she usually gets fired at that point because you don't want her going into work and you're just partying. And yeah, it's
big old bank account, do anything you want and haven't done anything in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like kid in a candy store.
Oh, it's fucking stupid.
Did that ever cause any issues?
100%. That's why when it finally ended, the relationship that I had, I just was like, fuck it, I'm going to stay single till I retire out of this because it's just not even healthy, right? Like I couldn't change and the lifestyle was a lot of fun, but it was like, fuck it. Like all you're doing is destroying everything that you do when you come home, right? Because you come home and they could have a career or job and it takes a unique female to actually tolerate your fucking bullshit. And then you just twist the fuck off for about a week and then come back and put your life back together. Yeah.
And then when you left, it was all crocodile tears and
doing 100%,
it all over again.
100%. And then just
because they know you're leaving for 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't know how you would do that. Like, I don't care how much you pay me. Like, that's basically, I'm going to own you for 6 months straight.
Yeah.
That's almost like jail sentence and shit.
Yeah. It was challenging. Like I said, the further I got into it, and a lot of guys stay in it a long time. And there's guys that are still in it that I've worked with that have been way longer than me. I just got to the point where I was like, I'm done having somebody dictate my value. If I'm going to have a value, I'm going to create that value, whether it's fucking $0 or a fucking day or $10,000 a day. I'm going to be in control of what I want to do.
That's the main reason I'm in business for myself.
Yeah.
Same exact shit.
Yeah.
I was making pretty good money, but that's far more valuable to me.
Yeah. And it's funny because everybody says that they have that moment. And it's funny because I watching your podcast and stuff, I was laughing because you had Dan Pena here and that guy was kind of hysterical in the aspect of when I was starting to have that mental shift, like, okay, I need to figure out, I know that I need to do something. I know that I need to move more along the entrepreneurial route, but I got to fix what's between my ears. I got to switch my mindset. And there's two things that I did. There was one that I did 75 hard, and that just created a level of discipline. I know you've talked about, Andy Frisella and that sort of thing.
It's in my book.
Yeah. And the other thing was,
did you get it from the book or you already knew?
No, I got it from the book.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, no. And then when you read it, when you read it, I was like, fuck, man, that's, yeah. I mean, anybody that is wondering where to start, just start with that. Create the discipline within yourself.
And again, I mean, Andy, he's far more successful than I've ever been. maybe will ever be. I mean, that dude's a billionaire.
Yeah.
Most people don't realize it, but his company's worth like $4 billion.
Yeah.
And he owns half of it.
Yeah.
And they built it from fucking scratch.
Yep.
And he's got the most badass culture
Yep.
at his organization. His homes are fucking badass. His car collection's
Yep.
badass. Like, dude, that dude is a serious badass. So shit, I forgot where I was going after I was done fucking kissing his ass.
Yeah,
But,
right.
but I mean, oh yeah, the 75 hour, he might disagree with me. So listen to Andy by default, because he knows more than I do. But I don't think you create discipline. That program will teach you that you already possess it, because discipline to me is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Like you chose to do 75 hard, and you chose not to fuck around and do what it told you to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when people start 75 hard and they complete it, the only difference between those people and the ones that didn't complete it was what? A choice.
Yep.
They fucking chose not to.
Yeah.
So really discipline, which is, I think, one of the keys to success, period,
Yep.
which is why I tell everyone, start with that program. Because once you realize, because I think all it teaches you is you can fucking do what you say.
Mm-hmm.
You have the ability, you have the power. It's a choice that you make. That's all it is. I don't think discipline's something you earn or develop. I think it's something you choose, and you have it right now. It's just you're not choosing to do it.
Yeah.
So with me, I always tell people, again, 75 hard, bro. If you can do that, it'll wake you up and make you realize, dude, you can fucking do anything that you set your mind to doing, because that's a bitch of a program.
Yeah, it's gnarly. And then the funny thing was, when I was in the middle of it, I Googled like high performance people mindset, right? And it takes me to and I see the thing on YouTube, and it says the $100 billion mentor or whatever Dan has for his thing, right? And I click on the first episode of that shit, and here it's like this castle in Scotland, and it's like a drone thing or something of his castle, and like he's got his mentor group in there, and they're having like dinner, and everybody's dressed to the nines. And then the next one, he's in his classroom just motherfucking. And I'm sitting there going, who is this guy? And I ended up watching a bunch of his videos and stuff. And I was like, okay, this is kind of what it's like. You know what I mean?
Why don't you go out there?
I never knew I could.
You can.
Oh, wow.
I was going to do the February 16th one.
Oh, okay.
But I have something, so I'm going to probably do the one after.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going out there.
Oh, that's
all
awesome.
you do is go to his website, and like they sell out pretty quick.
Yeah.
But there's always one more in advance. But he's getting to the point where he's almost going to stop doing them.
Oh, wow.
So like, I want to get out there just to experience it. And according to him, he'll teach you how to go get all the fucking success and money you want by buying businesses.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, it was one of those things, because the combination of both for me. And then I was like, okay, I got a lot of work to do, which is fine. But at least I needed to know and start generating that mindset to go there. And that was pretty extraordinary on both of those. But having, clicking on your stuff and seeing it and seeing him sit here was pretty cool, considering that was the first YouTube video I watched.
Is Dan on my show?
No, I watched him on your show, but knowing that he was in here with it, or you did a podcast with him, was awesome, because his YouTube channel, when I was starting this journey, was like one of the first ones I clicked on to watch.
And what'd you Google to find it?
High performance mindset or something like that.
Yeah.
And like literally it just pulled up his YouTube, and it said $100 billion mentor or something or other. And it was pretty cool. So I don't know.
Yeah. He's a freaking interesting cat.
Yeah.
From the deep sea shit to entrepreneur, what'd you take from what you learned doing that? Because you got to be fairly cautious and meticulous. And I mean, what'd you take from that and found that it applies to entrepreneurship?
The biggest thing for me was no fear. Like you just, you act, right? In offshore, one of the biggest correlations with offshore was if you have a sense of fear or inability to act or freeze, it could cost you dearly, right? Because 9 times out of 10 diving, you're working in no viz, everything's by feel. And being able to just not overthink things and just trust in what you're doing, even though no matter what's going on around you, kind of block out the noise, if you will. And so with the entrepreneur stuff, with the rink and everything else and the gym and the Bighorns, really, really just blocking out the noise and really focusing on what your vision is, because I mean, as well as anybody, you start doing shit that people don't know about, like they're just second guessing everything, but they're truly second guessing themselves because at the end, they don't have the fucking guts to do it. So
what would you say to people starting a business right now that are kind of where you used to be? What advice would you give them?
Be true on your vision and just go. Pick a direction. Even if it's wrong, you can pivot. Inaction's the worst thing.
How would you say from a rating of 1 to 10 that how you're doing? Like, you think you're crushing it? Are you killing the game, or have you made mistakes and you could have done something different? You should have. And like, what are you learning?
Well, on the hockey side of things, a lot of sports are about culture. So when you're coming into something that's had kind of a not the greatest culture, or the level of integrity in the culture has kind of dissolved a little bit, kind of coming in and changing that, you're going to get a lot of pushback. And I think, knowing the game on that side of things, when we did that, we were really true to our vision because we had the mindset of the players first, the brand above anything. Let's just do the right things. On the rink side of things, I think that, one of the biggest takeaways from it is look at what you're buying too, because, I bought an older building, man. I was very fortunate. And the guy that sold it to me, was willing to work with me and gave me a really good deal on it and that sort of thing, just to keep it going. But like anything with certain businesses, there's costs that occur. And I think one of the things that if I had, looking back at, when I started, if I could tell my old self, is just be caution, or just have caution, or be cautious of the costs associated with it. Because there were certain things that I threw money away on that was really extremely premature. And I thought that would fix my problems, as opposed to, looking at what really matters. And that would be like infrastructure and making sure the product is good. Cause I mean, really at the end of the day, I'm renting frozen water. That's what I'm doing. And what gets you to that point? What freezes the water? What does this? And build it outwards from that. I think that would have made things a little bit easier. But anytime you're owning an ice rink or a sports arena or anything like that, man, like they're just almost money pits in an aspect, because insurance is always high. Your expenses are always high. And any sort of any sort of price adjustment or anything like that kind of ripples through the community as a whole. You know what I mean? Not so much as through just one consumer base, if that makes sense.
The advertisement around the ice, on the ice, the logos, the shit like that. If people are listening and they want to advertise in the rink, how many eyeballs hit that rink every month?
Well, annually we get about 230 to 250,000 people that go through that building. So
anything televised?
So we do, we broadcast. So the Bighorn games are done on NAHL TV, Null TV, and they have, that's the league, and they actually have the licensing rights to that. But everything else is broadcasted through Steed TV, and it's our YouTube channel. And
what's it called?
Steed TV, and they can get to it by our website. Go to steedarena.com, click on Steed TV, and everything's on there, whether it's curling, youth hockey, everything.
All the games?
Yep.
You can just watch them?
Yep.
So what's the advertising there opportunity for people listening? If I want to put my name on the ice for a couple games.
Yeah. Each thing's, well, the ice is yearly, but all that stuff is based on location. So if they want to get on the ice or the advertisements around, they need to go to sales@HelenaBighorns.com. And then the Steed TV, if they want to put their commercials and stuff on our broadcast, they go to sales@DTsports.com.
And man, you'd be surprised how many people are looking at those. Cause like I said, my buddy put Lightspeed across the ice, and I got phone calls from people, and I'm like, what the hell are you doing out in Kalkaska, Michigan?
Yeah.
Like, that's a tiny ass place.
Yeah.
But sure enough, dude, it was reaching people.
Yeah.
And I even got a deal from it, because he was like, he couldn't believe that I would sponsor and help the kids. And it was apparently a nephew or something. And he just thought I was like man, you don't even live here. What are you doing? And I go, what do you mean, man? You're helping some kids play hockey by donating some money and get them out of trouble. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Kalkaska. Probably nothing.
Right.
Getting into trouble.
Yeah.
So he said, right on. Well, listen, man, I want to sit down and see how we can do a little business. So I didn't even do it for business. I did it to help the kids.
Yeah.
But I got business in Kalkaska, Michigan. Helena, Montana's got way more traffic.
No. Yeah. Huh?
What about naming rights to the team? Do they have to be the Bighorns or can they be the Helena Bomb Squad?
Well, I mean, yeah, the Bighorns have been there for 20 years.
So it's been, it's part of the culture.
It's definitely ingrained in the culture.
Why Bighorns? Are there Bighorns around there?
I would assume Bighorn sheep somewhere in Montana. I don't know. When that was named when I left. So it used to be when I played there, it was called the Helena Ice Pirates. And then, 99, it became like the Gold Rush for 1 year. And
who's changing the name? The owners?
Yeah. And then,
so if you wanted to, you could change the name.
We probably could.
How much money would that cost?
Fuck, we'd talk after this, homie.
That'd be fun.
Yeah. Hey, fuck, we win nationals again to get you a ring. That way you can walk around with your big ass ring.
How many teams are in that league? Like,
I think there's 36 now.
And is it like pretty decent? Like, do you get good sized crowds?
Like we average between 13 and 1,600 a game.
So where are you trying to take it? Like it sounds to me like, oh, that's cool. Little hockey team and a little hockey town. But like, where does it go?
As far as teams that we travel to?
No,
or just the cap on it?
What is your vision? Like
we used to think of raising it and moving up to the upper level. But
how do you do that?
You just buy a membership. But like the thing is though, is that we're based on our demographic and where we're at, like we've kind of hit a ceiling with it. I mean, it's kind of challenging the way hockey is. Like you move up a level, like your franchise fees become like way more. And then also your travel gets really, really bad. Because one thing that eats teams alive is travel. Like right now we're very fortunate that our biggest rivalries like Helena, Great Falls, Butte, and Bozeman or I'm not Helena, but Great Falls, Butte, and Bozeman, they're all within about 100 miles, right? But then we've got Rapid City, South Dakota we go to, Gillette, Wyoming, Sheridan, Wyoming, Cody, Wyoming. And that eats up. Our bus breaks down. Like, man, that trip just that's an extra $10,000.
But you own the bus too?
Yeah.
So when you own the team, you own everything.
Yeah.
The bus, the concession stand.
Yeah.
Your responsibility is the jerseys.
Yeah. We cover everything.
You got to pay for the jerseys. You got to pay for the sticks. Or do they buy their own?
They buy their own sticks.
Now, what like, because again, I'm thinking, well, how would I grow and expand that? It's like you almost can't. So how would I make it more popular and where I'm drawing in 16,000 in attendance? The only thing I can think of, more fights.
We would agree.
What are the rules?
So we have,
because if you get a league where you're allowed to fight.
Yeah.
Because hockey, the reason I started liking hockey was the fights, but nowadays it seems like they don't let them fight anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, from a business ownership in Montana, man, fucking A. 100%.
Dude, I'd fly out there and attend a game if it was like, dude, these fucking Bighorns, they are brawlers. Like you're guaranteed 4 or 5 fights every game.
Yeah.
Dude, you're going to get more and more and more people to that match. I was talking to the guy that was like the VP of the Golden Knights or some shit because I got a suite and they were coming around all the suite holders and introducing themselves. And he said, anything we can do? And I said, listen, I'm kind of a marketing guy. Now, if I were you, I'd get your players to fight like a lot. I'd make sure that your cameras are constantly putting people in the crowd up on the big screen because people love that shit.
Well, we do it in ours.
People love that shit, dude. Like you 100%. End up on the Jumbotron.
We have one and we do that exact shit.
Yeah. So I said, freaking, make killer. Like I know if I go to the game, there's a good chance I'm going to get on that fucking Jumbotron. It'd make me go to the game. The other thing that would make me go to the game is fighting.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I want to see fucking fights.
Yeah.
Fuck the hockey. I want to go to a fight and let some hockey break out rather than the opposite.
Yeah.
So are you able to, if your players are willing, let's fight. Like, throw punches. I want to see punches. Like, push them, smack them.
Yeah, we've got, so our league, I believe, is you have 5. You're allowed 5. And
5 what?
5 fights.
And then what if you go over that?
Then you actually get multiple game suspensions after that. So you're allowed 5 freebies.
So you can't play, or the player can't play?
The player can't play.
So how many players are on a team?
There is, 19, 20, 21, something like that.
Okay, so you got
to have goal scorers too, Brad.
I know,
those guys don't want to swing.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I hear you.
Dude, I'd go to a game where I'm going to get all 5 fights from each player, so I get 100 fights.
Well, no, it's 1 per game. They're allowed 5 total before they get multiple game suspensions.
I know, but like, I'd figure it out to where, dude, I'm maximizing my fights.
Yeah.
To where you go watch the Bighorns, bro, it's a fucking party.
Yeah.
And I bet you anything, you'd go from 1,600 in attendance to 3,600 in attendance, or maybe 10,000 in attendance.
Fuck, if I could fit them in there, I would.
And then you start fucking, getting that out there. The Bighorns are Bighorn brawlers, where, dude, you go to a Bighorns game, you're fucking going to have a good time.
Yeah.
You sell alcohol?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'd be like, I'd turn it into the freaking UFC of fucking hockey.
So back when I played, it was that.
And that's when it would have been amazing.
Yeah, right.
Because I bought glass seats for the Vegas Knights and a suite.
Yeah.
Then they almost won the whole thing, and then they tried to dick me by raising my suite price by like 3 times the price. And I got an elevator in my contract, and there you go. Well, let me see your contract. I'm like, babe, where's the contract? Where's the agreement we signed in? I couldn't find it. And they knew that because you know how, like, if I didn't tear off the copy and I have the copy, I know you don't have it because I didn't give it to you.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing. And I know that they were doing that because I remember not getting a copy. So they were like, well, show me your agreement. And I couldn't because they didn't give it to me. So basically they said, well, if you want to keep the suite, it's 3. So I said, screw your suite. I'll keep the glass seats. And there was more fights. This wasn't even that long ago. Yeah. And now I'm like, every time I go, I'm like, babe, why don't they fight anymore?
Yep.
What the hell's wrong with hockey, people?
It's
NHL, USHL, NA3, fight. I'm telling you, you guys want fans, you guys want freaking attendance, fight.
It's funny because the old, if you're not paying to watch the best players in the world, you're paying to watch a circus. And we're very fortunate that, like, we're called the Frontier Division where we're at. And yeah, we've got some heated fucking rivalries, man. And we've had some heated rivalries, like.
Do the kids like to fight, or are they like, I don't want to fight, coach?
You got some guys that are down. I mean, some guys, that's what they want to do. You know what I mean? It's like, but I think what it comes down to is every guy's willing to do what they're supposed to do or asked to do for the brand. And that's one thing that we create a culture for that. Like, hey, not that we asked for it. We would never do that.
See,
but
I think you should consider that.
But at the end of the day, like, hey man, you and I are on the same team and some dude fucking runs you.
I wouldn't want to make somebody fight that's afraid or doesn't want to get punched in the mouth. But you get these little badass kids that have been playing hockey their whole life. They don't give a shit about throwing blows. I mean, dude, there's refs there. You're not going to get too bad. But like little badass kids that are ready to rock and roll, I'd say, dude, make sure tonight, if you got an opportunity, bro, throw the punch.
Yeah.
It's my 5th one, coach. Just don't do your 6th.
Yeah, right. They're going to throw you out anyway, homie. Just get it over.
And I'd be, why? They don't throw you out. I've watched fights where as soon as they're done, they go back to playing.
No, ours, they throw out. So if you actually drop your shit and go with a guy, like they'll escort you off. You're out of that game.
See, I don't understand that.
Yeah,
who makes those rules?
That's our league.
Well, then let's go to the league.
Yeah.
Who runs the league? Do they want it to be a better league, more popular league? Like, who's doing the marketing with this shit?
Yeah, they're talking about the progression. They're talking about, going the path to college and that sort of thing. It's all based on demographic too. Like I was saying, like we're in the front.
What college got to do with fighting?
From a business standpoint, the fighting's very profitable, but yeah.
Well, we're trying to develop the kids. Dude, fighting develops kids.
Yes.
It prepares them for life.
Yeah. And the thing is
it makes them attract the females.
All the above.
Everything's
the intangibles.
good. Like
the intangibles.
It's fighting is good.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
It's fun
as long as it ain't me doing it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, like I like to go to the UFC. Dude, people don't believe when I say this, but I thought of the UFC before the UFC.
Oh.
I was sitting there with my buddies. They were making a whole bunch of money and they just had money to blow. They were renting beach houses and like they were doing this shit called telemarketing. They actually lassoed me into the damn thing and ended up getting in trouble for it. But I didn't know what was going on. I was just hanging around the wrong people, but they had all this money. So we were sitting around one night brainstorming about what to do. And I said, dude, listen, put up $50,000. Let's rent the Thomas and Mack or whatever and put up like 50 grand. And then put the word out to anybody who thinks they're a fucking badass, come in the ring and fight, and the most badass mofo of the night takes home 50 grand. I said, we will pack the house. They're like, I don't know about that. I go, dude, when you're at a bar and someone starts fighting, there's a fight outside. What's everyone doing?
They go outside.
Everybody goes outside. They want to watch the fight. Everybody wants to see a fight. So I said, let's rent the Thomas and Mack. Let's put up some big stupid amount and then just basically say, if you're a badass, bro, just throw down.
Yeah.
The top dog is getting the money.
Yeah.
Which is the UFC, if you ask me. Now they call it a sport and there's rules, but mine didn't have any rules.
Well, the original didn't.
I know.
Remember the old VHS?
Dude,
come through in Denver and shit?
Dude, well, listen. So this was how it started. So I came up with that idea and these guys, I finally talk into fucking like, yeah, okay, well, fuck yeah, I'll do that. Cause they had money to blow. They didn't care. I was going to go promote it and fucking, so we started to try to make it happen. Well, the Nevada State Gaming or Commission or somebody said, you can't do that. We're like, what do you mean? You can't do that. Like they wouldn't let us do it, period. And then we gave it up. Okay, whatever. Fuck, a great idea though. And then like a year later, UFC came out and they did it in Denver.
Yeah.
Because Nevada wouldn't let them do it either. So instead of fucking saying, okay, give up like we did, they fucking found a state that would let them.
Yeah.
And that was the first UFC. Now, if you know the story of the UFC, I wouldn't have made it anyway because the Fertittas had to drop like $42 million to make that thing work.
Yeah, I watched that whole thing on Vice.
Yeah.
They did, the rise of the UFC or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, unless you had serious coin, you wouldn't have made it work. The Fertittas, were wealthy.
Yeah.
So they, took a big ass gamble.
Yeah.
Dana White and those guys fucking gambled it all. $42 million and dude, it was failing.
Yeah.
Until the show came out.
Yeah, that's what they said on that documentary.
But goddamn. So I know that I wouldn't have made it work had they even said yes. But dude, a year before the UFC came out, I was thinking the same thing.
That's crazy. I remember those VHS came out. Where the hell was I living when they came? I don't remember, but I remember it was like, hey, we got this video. You should watch this shit. And you put it in. We all huddled around the fucking TV. And
okay, so there's my point.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to see a fight. Hockey's the only thing that legally lets you fight. There's no other sport other than fighting where you're allowed to. Baseball, you can't fight. Tennis, you can't fight. Golf, you can't fight. Football, you can't fight. Hockey, you can fight.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they decide, because sometimes they do fight still in the NHL. And it's like, yes, like we had a player named Reeves.
Yep.
Remember Reeves?
Yep.
Like he liked to fight. And so like on occasion, dude, he'd throw off his gloves and they'd start circling and everybody be like, yeah, that's what we came for. But now they don't allow it very much. And I don't know why. And I'm curious, when did what are the rules to where, go ahead? Because they didn't get thrown out.
No. So they've got a 3-fight rule. And then they put in so each one's a 5-minute. And then they've got instigator that'll get a 10-minute. And they added a bunch of stuff to it to try to, deflect it, get rid of it, calm it down, whatever. Because if you watch 80s and 90s and shit, like you watch the old YouTube channels like fucking Bob Probert and those guys, like they're just going to town on each other.
And that's when hockey was great.
And that's, I would agree. That was my generation watching the 80s and stuff like that. Like that was just, it's just different now. The game's a lot faster now. Like,
it is.
And they got rid of a lot of stuff that caused the violence, the fighting, that sort of thing. Like, the game was a lot tighter, where now it's wide open. But I still believe, like, Sidney Crosby got how many concussions? I think he's got like 9 or I don't know. He's got like a really high end level of concussions. And I think that, and there's some guys
not
probably
fighting.
No. But guys taking his feet out when he's going 400 miles an hour and slamming into the boards. But they wouldn't have done that. If Sidney Crosby played in the 90s, he would have had more room to do stuff. I mean, Wayne Gretzky is Wayne Gretzky. Well, first of all, because he's Wayne Gretzky. Like, he's just unbelievable. But he had Marty McSorley with him everywhere he went.
And us, the fighter?
Yep. Dave Semenko, the other one. When Wayne was 18, he had Dave Semenko with the Oilers until they got McSorley. Wherever Wayne went, he had somebody like that. So it gave him room. It gave him time and space to do his stuff. Like Sidney Crosby, unbelievable player. Still at almost 40, I believe he is one of the, if not still the best in the world, in my opinion.
No.
But
not the best in the world.
Hey man, he's still he's still doing shit that's unbelievable.
There's a player, I think his name's like David McDavid or
Connor McDavid?
Yeah. That motherfucker.
No, he's for this generation, he is the best.
Yeah, that guy is the one I'd say, damn, dude, that dude's freaking smoking talented.
Yes, he's ridiculous. There's a whole slew of really high talented kids.
But they don't fight.
But the game doesn't. The game is different for them.
So who do we lobby?
Oh fuck, go to the NHL. I'll lobby my end if you lobby.
Why does the NHL affect your league?
It for the pros it doesn't. For me it doesn't. But for
you think NHL included, the NA3 for sure, USHL, any league, there's got to be a commissioner.
It's USA Hockey.
Yeah, so like whoever's in charge, it says 3-fight rule. Why don't they want to make it more popular? Because listen, it's not like, oh, we're going to use these kids to make it more popular. No. The kids are the one that gets to decide if they fight. Right. Just let them is the question.
Yeah.
Can they please fight if they want to?
Please, coach, please.
Yeah, because it sounds like I'm being barbaric and, oh, my poor kid, I don't want him in that league. No, dude, I'm not saying freaking beat up kids that don't want to be beat up. I'm not saying be vicious. I'm saying change the rules to where it allows more fights where they throw their gloves and they circle and they fight for a minute because they break it up pretty quickly. It's like whoever hits the ice first, it's over. So it's like, it's not that big of a deal. Nobody's ever walking away with smashed faces and stretchers. And it's just a scuffle. I've never seen
it. Would actually clean the game up, in my opinion. Now, this is only my opinion, but like you have guys that are willing to like go and do that shit. It keeps the big injuries at bay. Like now players are held accountable for baseball swinging a guy with a stick. Like if you know that there's somebody on that team's bench that if you do something really bad to a good player, you're going to answer for it. And you're going to answer for it. And it's physically 100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
And so there is a level of policing with that. And I think that once again, my opinion is when you have that level of policing, the game is cleaner, the game is faster, the game is more enjoyable to watch because guys now aren't doing shit behind the play. Guys aren't doing dirty. The shit talking settles because at the end of the day, the only reason people really talk shit is because nothing's really going to come of it. But if you know that like, I'm going to motherfuck you and then you're going to drop your gloves and pound the ever-living fuck out of me, well, I'm probably not going to talk shit to you as much. You know what I mean? Or pick my battles with it. My star players are going to have, longer careers because they don't have to worry about dudes cross-checking them in the face. People are held accountable for bad behavior. And that was one thing that really does bring to the game is that level of accountability.
So forget the NHL because like getting to the powers that be there is probably harder than the NA3. But you're in the NA3. You're a team owner. Why don't you go to the NA3? Because they could if they want to make their own rules that way. And now all of a sudden the NA3 gets more popular, and all these other people are like, "Well, dude, no one's going to our games anymore. They're all going to these fucking NA3 games." Well, that's because we got some smart people that realize these crowds were no difference than the Roman Colosseum. Okay.
Yep.
You fucking want to entertain these motherfuckers? Let them fight. Let them fight.
Yep. We are a rodeo community too. So it's not like, what do people like to watch with bull riders? Unfortunately, we love to watch people get, ride the bull. That's cool.
Get smashed.
But it's when the motherfucker gets bucked off, right? Like, and then everyone goes, ooh, ah, oh, it's the same shit.
Who's the most exciting fighter that you've ever heard of in boxing?
In boxing?
Yeah. Just think.
Tyson.
Yeah. Why?
Pick something, right?
Because he'd smash your face off. And then, dude,
he's a fucking animal.
People would flood to see Tyson fight, even though it was 10 seconds, because he'd come out there and just knock your head off.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, yeah. So again, I think I've made my point. I think NA3, if they're listening, but dude, you're an owner.
Yep.
Like you can go revolutionize and literally single-handedly fix hockey, because if NA3 does it, you will get more attendees. Everybody will want to go to the NA3 games because the rules are better for us, the viewer, not for the players. You don't want to play in the player. You don't want to play in the NA3 because you're a beta. I got you. Don't.
Right.
It's optional for players. They don't have to fight. I'm not saying make them fight. I'm saying find the kids that aren't afraid to fight.
Yeah.
Put them in a fucking league that allows them to fight, and you'll have one of the most popular hockey teams on earth, above and beyond NHL.
Yeah.
And then NHL won't even, they'll have to. Because, dude, they'll be like, this fucker out in Helena, Montana is packing his fucking stadium. We got NHL teams with fucking half people. I went to a hockey game the other day. I forget where it was, but the stadium was kind of average. And it was half full. I mean, this is an NHL team. You go to the Vegas Knights, dude, it's packed. But, it's Vegas. You go to some of these rinks around the country, NHL.
Yeah.
It's half full. Why? Nobody's fighting. No, there's no excitement.
When you're going to the non-popular hockey markets, like that's what they identify with. Like they identify with what draws them in, the anticipation of a fight, the anticipation of whatever. People don't get up for a beer for two things: a goal or a fight.
Yeah. Now just to end it, because I've been harping on it like it's going to actually change something, but I'm hoping I can inspire you to go say, hey guys, you know what I was thinking? And they go, hey, you know what, Jed? That's a pretty good goddamn idea.
We've discussed it in owners' meetings, that's for sure.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, I'd go appeal to the whoever cares about popularity and success. Because again, if I'm the dude in the NA3 that could make those rules, I'd do it. Why? Because, dude, I need to differentiate myself from the USHL or the next league up. Why? Next league up don't allow fights. Well, let my little ass baby league allow fights, and I start becoming the fucking teams everybody wants to watch. Yeah. And then the televised are going to say, well, fuck these lame games. I'm going to go televise these games because everybody's watching it. Popularity. That's why. You want to make it more popular? Let them fucking fight. Just let them. Don't make them.
Yeah. Then, like I said, people don't get up for goals and fights, man. They don't.
Yeah. No, hell no, dude. I'd be at the hockey game every freaking night if it was like a freaking Coliseum war.
Yeah.
Like who's playing? Who's on their team? Oh, it's gonna be dude. It's gonna be good tonight.
Yeah.
But they don't fight no more. And I don't go to the games very often. Is there a game, the Knights game tonight?
I don't know.
I'll check. If there is, I'll give you my glass seats.
Okay.
You can go check out the Knights.
No, it'd be awesome.
But they aren't going to fight more than likely.
Yeah. The one thing that they implemented too is the staging thing. So we can't do that either.
What's that?
So back in the day, and I don't know when they implemented it in our league, but they line up at a face-off. Like you used to be able to just talk right off the face-off, and as soon as the ref drops the puck, go. Well, now you have to wait 15 seconds because they call it staging. Like you're staging a fight. So they have to actually let the puck and the play go on for 15 seconds so it's not staging. Because you remember, I mean, if you watch old YouTube channels when I played everything else, guys, you line up at the hash mark wingers, they'd chirp each other as soon as the puck dropped. And the centers wouldn't even sit, they just stand up and the ref would just do one of those things and fucking then they go at it. Yeah. Now it's called staging. So it's
the good old days.
Yeah. No. And then you get a separate game for that. So,
all right, folks. Well, listen, if you want to get in shape, okay, nitroalphadevelopment.com. He's got workouts that these athletes are going through that makes them stronger, faster, obviously leaner, more agile, more capable. You can download all the programs for yourself. Go out in your backyard and freaking do it. If you're a dad and you got some kids in sports, you get high level freaking sport training just off this website. Just go ahead and download it. If you guys are in the Helena area, obviously go to the Helena Bighorns hockey games. HelenaBighorns.com is the website. Steed Arena, if you guys want to watch or advertise, you heard it. we'll have it in the notes. Jed, appreciate you coming in, buddy.
Appreciate it, bro.
I hope you can get the owners to consider the fight.
Well, as soon as I do, I'll let you know.
Yeah, and then I bet you people will pay more to have their name on your ice.
Maybe.
All right, folks, you heard it. Till next time, keep it real.